Johnson, City Classic Cars. I'm going to walk you a little bit about my process and my program. How do we build cars at City Classic Cars? So today I'm going to look at the paint department. We have a couple of projects here, one that's just out of paint, one that's just going in. And down this side, we have a lot of cars that are in Fit Garage and in the performance shop. So let's talk a little bit about what we do at City Classic Cars. Thank you so much for joining me. On my right side here, this is a car in like step 14 of a 25-step build process. Steps 10 through 16 are really paint department steps. You know, one of the hardest and longest and challenging parts of the restoration that makes it very difficult for full restoration centers to pop cars out and pop cars and trucks in. The challenge is that paint and body process. That is a journey, and there's not a whole lot of shortcuts. There's not a lot of quick fixes to kind of get us through that. That's a challenge, and that's one of the longest journeys. One that we love, that we're passionate about, and that's one of the parts and one of the steps of the restoration process that's very, very important. We have 25 steps. It starts with your dream. You come to me with a dream. Once you come to me with a dream, it's my job and my team's job to help you flesh that out. We call that the discovery process. So we take you through the discovery process. The team helps flesh that out with you. Then we go from there, and I kind of get involved in that second step, and that's where we get into design. So I want to hear all your vision, all of your thoughts. I want to see the notes from discovery, and then I get into the design phase, and I say, you know what? From what you're sharing with me, from the condition of your car, from everything I'm seeing, here's what we present back to you. What do you think? Now, we do that in 3D renderings. This vehicle, most of them are 2D renderings, I should say. This one here is in the rendering step. We've gone over the specs of the vehicle, but it's still in the rendering process. This vehicle's already been painted. Its rendering is finished. So this is step 14. This is what step 14 looks like. This is almost ready for paint. Look like I can almost taste it. I can almost see the color. This is what it looks like. Now, I call this tiger stripe. Now, some of y'all been in this a while. You call it guide coat, and it's both of them. And so what we use with this guide coat lets us know where the problems are. It lets us know where the vehicle is not perfectly straight. We go through this process so that we can discover and we can learn and we can ascertain what we need to do to make this vehicle laser straight so that it can go into paint. So when we get to 14, we're really in a painter's hand. So we have paint shop 1, paint shop 2, paint shop 3, paint shop 4, steps like that. And this one right here is just entering the painter's hand. This car is about to leave the painter's hand. This is a 63 C10. Well, it's gone all the way through the fab shop, all the way through the discovery process, the design process. It's completed fab shops 1, 2, 3, and 4. It has gone through the body shop process, and it is in the last step of the paint process. This is post booth time. So this vehicle, the 63, it has to be cut, it has to be buffed. You can even still see it's a nice, I don't want to mess it up, but there you can still see here that's a nice finish, but it's not, it doesn't have the depth, it doesn't have the clarity, it doesn't have the smoothness that we would like for it to have. Well, that's fine. The cut and buff process is going to do that. You can see the floor has already had the bed liner process gone through. So we cut and buff it, and then after we cut and buff it, it goes into what we call Fit Garage. There are many cars to my left that are in Fit Garage, and Fit Garage has Fit Garage 1, Fit Garage 2, Fit Garage 3. Fit Garage is finishing, interior, and technology. That's what we do in the Fit Garage. So this vehicle is in step 16, which is cut and buffing. As soon as step 16 is done, this vehicle goes to step 17. And step 17 is Fit Garage, where we put the car back together, assembly, all that. We'll come and we'll look at some other projects that we have over here at City Classic Cars. So this is what, this car is past step 17, but this is what it looks like at step 17. You put the car together. I mean, you're going to take the body, put it back on its rolling chassis, once you put the body on its rolling chassis, your fit and gap and all that stuff should be true. It should be right. You have the tires and rims that are going to be on the car. And so that's what step 17 looks like. But this vehicle is past step 17. If you look a little bit further behind me, that's another vehicle that gives you an illustration of what step 17 looks like, fit garage. So we have a process, there's a systematic approach. The way I build cars, there's 25 steps. When I bring individuals into my office team, I teach them all those 25 steps. When I bring in technicians to be a part of my team, I take them through my process, my program, what are the parts and manufacturers and suppliers that I use, what's my sensibilities of building cars, and what's the process of how cars move through my shop. Way over there in 5, 6, 7, 8, I like to get all of my fabrication out of the way. So all my metal work, all my chassis work, all my fabrication. And I even like to do a lot of my ride height. I want to build my exhaust. I want to get all that stuff done, all things being equal, somewhere in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then when I go to 10, I'm doing body, I'm doing some more fitting gap, all of that, going through paint to get to 17. I put the car together, and that's what this sort of visually looks like. But this vehicle here is in about step 19. So this is a 1947 Chevrolet truck, owned by, no, this is 51, 1951 truck owned by the Gomez family. A beautiful truck, an exciting project, but this project is not a restoration. So when we go back and we look at all these projects, they're all different. So we start talking about building cars and the design elements of that. You have restoration, put it back like it was. You have resto mod, use modern technology to make the vehicle better. And then you have third, pro touring, which says I want this car to compete on a global stage with some of the best cars in our modern society. Bentley GTs and Maybach Mercedes and Ferrari and Lamborghini and high-end Corvettes and Maserati. So all that kind of stuff. So when you go back over there, that's going to be a resto mod Mopar project. When you come here to this truck, this is going to be a resto mod truck. It's going to have a modern suspension, modern technology. I'll show you a chassis that's not for this truck, but I'll give you an example of the chassis that this truck has that's going with it. This is also a resto mod. When you start talking about resto mods, I classify them in 3 areas. One is like an entry-level resto mod, one is more of a moderate level, and one is what I call a high-end custom resto mod. And so this is like a moderate level resto mod here. We kept the original chassis on this truck, and what we did, we used an Art Morrison front insert for the cross member there. They have a great product, and we use that product on here. It's real true. Real wood brakes all the way around, coilovers all the way around, 4-link setup in the back, and we always use forward 9 inches. This one has a forward 9-inch in the back, 373 highway gears, and so some of them I have. This is by Moser. Some of them I have a forward 9-inch, and some of them I have a Fab 9. But that's what we have going on here. For the most part, we have a lot of the truck looking original. Of course, the stance on it is low. It's a little bit aggressive. And I'll show you a cool gas tank that we have in here. So we move the gas tank to the back, and so that's the filler there. So that's the filler there. We put it right there in the body, and that's the filler there. That's how we did that. So it has some modern touches to it, but we wanted to keep it unique. This right here is an example of a restoration. I don't think there's any resto mod touches on there. If it is, we say it's resto mod very lightly, but it's not. That's a true restoration. The only part on it that we could say is aftermarket, that we could say is a little bit different, it's not the original engine. It's not even the original spec of engine, but that engine is original. It's unique to that car. So that car has history, has a family member that's gone on prayerfully to be with the Lord. And that engine was put in there maybe 25 years ago. And so through the process of rebuilding all that, we realized that's not the engine. But anyway, we modified the engine mounts and all that kind of stuff, make everything true. But that's an example of a restoration. Look at that Bronco there. 1971. Example of a restoration, okay? That's what's going on. Restoration, put it back like it was. This Barbara's 51 Chevy truck, some resto mod. We're going to add some touches to it. Another example of a resto mod. 1969 Bronco. 1971 Bronco, 1969 Bronco. One thing you'll learn real quick about a quick walk around my shop, when I say I do all makes and models, baby, that's what I mean. We do all makes and models. Yeah, we like doing it like that. So this one here is a resto model. Now, the engine in this one is different. The engine is that's 5.0. So it's not stock in any kind of way. That's a 5.0, and this is not a full restoration, but this is what we call major performance upgrades. And some of the work was done. We went and finished some of it off. You can see the lift kit on here. You can see the big tires on here. That truck is going to be completely different looking from this one here. Complete custom interior, custom sound system. Well, come on down and look at some other projects that we have going on. So down here, all of these. 3 of them are in Fit Garage. One of them is in the performance shop, is in the last step of the performance shop, but 3 of them are in Fit Garage. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about what happens in Fit Garage. We have Fit Garage 1, Fit Garage 2, and Fit Garage 3. So here we have a 64. The 64 is in Fit Garage 3. 17, 18, 19. So this car is in step 19 of the build process. This is a 64 Riviera, and this Riviera, for the most part, it is original. For the most part, our concept is to put it back like it was. So when we get into the interior, and how are you gonna do the interior, our mission and our concept is build it back like it was, keep everything original. What about on the engine side? Keep everything original, build it like it was. And so that's what we have going on here. But we had the license and the privilege and the permission to jazz it up a little bit. You know, look at that shine in that thing. And that's that vibrancy collection. That's that vibrancy collection. You know, when you want something different, we have 12 colors that are signature colors of city classic cars. And you can have those 12 colors put on your car, and nobody else in the world will have those colors. That's how we do it, Rise by Sabra City Classic Cars. So this is a beautiful, show-stopping color. When you picture this underneath the lights of a show, it's gonna dance. You're gonna see it from the other side of the room. At the red light, it's gonna stop traffic. Beautiful, beautiful project there. So we stop over here on the inside. Give you a quick snap of what's going on the engine side. It's original, but we still put that color and put it throughout the top here. 64 Riviera, not quite finished with it. Got some more work to do. All right, this now is a whole different beast. It's a whole different animal. It's an entirely different representation. This is resto mod. This is the quintessential version of a resto mod. We're talking about a high-end car now. I don't want to get into prices of what clients pay, what clients don't pay. I don't think you can get a resto mod built on $150,000. I don't know what shop you can get that done in. So when you start talking about true resto mods, the budget is going to go up, the budgets are going to increase, and so you want to be prepared for that. So resto mod, you want to look at that stance. Stance is very, very important. You want to look at the stance on that. That's going to make your resto mod when you look at that stance on it. And you look at it, the resto mod going to have that stance to it. It's going to let you know something going on. It's going to have many custom touches. That's a painted stripe. That stripe is not just a sticker stripe. That's a painted stripe. It's going to have many custom touches to it. This is the RS kit on the front, RS/SS kit on the front. It didn't come with that. So we have that on the front there. Different car, different project. We got some goodies under the hood, but we won't get into all of that. Now this one is in step 23. It's in step 23. Step 23 says, I'm almost finished, but I'm not finished. Doing some final touches, some final details. That's what this one says. So we put 4 buckets in here. That's what a resto mod looks like. That's what a resto mod looks like. When you look at it, it should be period specific. When you look at it, it should look like a Camaro. It should not look like a spaceship. It should look like a Camaro. At least that's the way I build it. I'm not ashamed it has a 350 and it don't have to have a LS to be a resto mod. Now it does have a fast system on here. Just give you an example of resto mod. That's one we're excited about. So we'll keep coming. So now we'll get over here. This is a whole different animal. This is a whole different project. This is a whole different beast. Meaning, this is what we call Pro Touring. Is it a resto mod? Yeah, every Pro Touring project is a resto mod. The difference between a Pro Touring, so you look at this car here, look at that stance, and look at that stance real quick. Get both stances on those. Look at that meat in the back of this one. All right, so when you look at this, stance is going to be a huge piece of this puzzle. The chassis is going to be a huge piece of this puzzle. There are other videos we've done where we've shown you this car disassembled. We've shown you the chassis on this car, and it gives you an example of what's going on. The underneath portion of the car is very, very significant. But when you start doing Pro Touring, you got to make it one of a kind and unique. So let's look at the dash in here. All of this is one-off. All of this is handmade. So if you look past my shoulder, you'll see someone back in the backside of this bay working on this car. Everything is handmade. This right here is handmade. The original dash is gone. So we found a nice unit from Dakota Digital, if I'm not mistaken, that we're going to fit in here. It's going to be really, really nice. All this is original. This right here, that's original. That's not, I mean, this is new product. This is not original. This is not OEM. Everything in here is custom. So forgive me on that correction there. All this is going to be custom. You can even see the kit. That's going to be vent holes. Those are going to be vent holes. We got 2 others going somewhere else. That's going to be the vintage air controller there. That's going to be the double den there. And we got some compartments in here. We ain't going to get into all those details. We got 4 buckets again. We like them buckets. So you got 2 buckets in the front, 2 buckets in the back. You ain't riding no more than 2 or 3 people anyway. Come to the back. I won't get into the back part too much because we got some customs going on, some privacy things we don't want to show you. But anyway, every aspect of this car is custom. On the front side, we got an LS9 that's powering this vehicle. LS9 with a 4L75E transmission pushing it. On the back side, we have a Fab 9. We not only have Fab 9, we have True Track technology in the back. One tire moves, the other tire follows whenever you're in the curve. Just a lot of technology going on here. Of course, we got Ride Tech all over. Ride Tech on the front, Ride Tech on the back. We got coils and things of this nature. Now, if you look past my hand here, remember that 63 truck I showed you? That's not its chassis. That chassis is 470 GMC. Just to give you a bird's eye view of what we do and what we're about. This is just an example. This is just an example of what we're talking about when we start talking about performance by City Classic Cars. We start talking about performance and custom work by City Classic Cars. It just gives you a bird's eye view. That's the back of that Camaro over there. That's 69 on the back. Now we're back to this resto mod. So I'll show you one other one over here. And this is not a video where we pull cars from over here and pull cars over here. This stuff we're working on, man. This car's bay is right there. That car's bay is right there. That car's bay is right there. Like, this is what we do every day, man. See, come over here. Our mission on this is to copy Barry Jackson. Because the Barry Jackson car had that same rim. The Barry Jackson car had that same pattern, the same year model. I think it went for $250,000. We've copied that car completely. You know, we've done the body work, we've done the paint work, we've done the metal work, we've done the interior work, but we're doing it with the sensibility because remember we talk about a dream. So that dream means a vision. So once we have a vision, we build that vision. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be hot pink with yellow. And then that's our vision. Our vision is built hot pink with yellow, you know, that type of thing. But this car here is designed to mimic a Barry Jackson car of the same ilk that went for $250,000. Just want to give you an example of what we do with City Classic cars and the steps. So this car here is in step Fit Garage 1. This car here is in step 19/20. The only difference with the Pro Touring cars, they're so custom, they're so over the top that some of the steps merge, you know. There's some stuff for this car being painted right now. Like it's just kind of merged, everything is so custom. So you keep coming here, step 23 of a 25-step build process. Now the step you want to get to is step 23. That means I'm still working on your car and you don't have to pay anymore. Step 23 is I pay for, you don't pay anymore. And that's why I make sure the car meets my satisfaction. So I make sure the car is right. I make sure the car is tight. If it take me a month, it take me a month. If it take me 2 months, it take me 2 months. But I'm not going to give it to you until I think it's right. I'm going to drive and I'm going to drive it some more. I'm going to test every system. I'm going to test them some more. And that's what phase this car is in. Also happens to be with everything going on. The client is not in the country at this time. God bless you wherever you are, Mr. Ross, at this time. All right, so right there we're in Fit Garage 2/3. We're in Performance Shop 3. We're in step 23 of a 25-step build process. That car there was in step 25. It was on delivery. It was ready to go home, and the client desired some more work and some more things. And so we're on. I can't tell you what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do some stuff on that car there. So go on down to Barber. Barber is in step 19/20. Step 19/20. That truck up there is in step. It's in step 20 of the mechanical phase. Step 20 of the mechanical phase. It came to us already painted. So it's in step 20 of the mechanical phase. This one here is in step 21. It's in step 21. It's an original car. It's not a restomod. He's about out of there. He's about finished. Over here we got step 16. Step 16. Here in step 17. Over here we got step 14. Headed into step 15. Over there in that paint shop, he has a car that's in step 15. Headed to step 16. And that's how we do it. You know what to do. 832-717-0774. We want y'all to stay safe out there. Y'all stay healthy out there. And we're in this season of open-mindedness. God is speaking to us all. Let God speak to you at this time. God bless you. Get with you next time. Take care.